Hollywood. How dare you tell me that I got it good? Got a check and treated like I'm Robin Hood. When it was time to stand up for me, see nobody stood.
Ne yapacaksınız burada?
I don't know.
School?
Sequoia.
Ne yapmaya geldiniz ki? Kimin yanına geldiniz?
Basketball.
Basketball.
Yeah.
But I still gotta keep some more. Cause I can't let him take my life. You might get left, you make that right. When he got left, it wasn't right. But he was trying to live that life. I call up Kuna, but that jet, we like we did, we take that flight. Still in California, play that studio all night. We stand down. For the love of the millions, ain't laying down. If you in the hood, what you saying now? Wanted to smoke, you said stand down. Cold heart, never get cold feet when the pressure come. It was beef, I had to tell them, you better come. Sister said they getting over, it's like you letting them. Some shit I had to learn my lesson from. Checking in, checking out, I just had to check you out. 2012, it was 50 when I'm stepping out. Got the time you had before checking, I ain't lived it out. I ain't even know you was upset, that's what this shit about. A green piece of paper can turn you to a hater. When you can't bring up one time, you return me for a favor. So I'm plenty real close, talking closer than my neighbors. Cause I know the signs when you switch sides, catch the vapors. Used to be my dog, you was in my left. Scream ride or die, I thought you would ride with me. Found out you was jealous, you wouldn't even grind with me. And when I caught the 6, you wanted the 550.
You know, I know you went to Xavier. I also know that you were highly recruited. You had some other big schools on your list. What were some of the determining factors for you to choose Xavier over, let's say, maybe Indiana or Oklahoma or I know you had even some lower schools in the city. You could have stayed close to home, St. John's, stuff like that. Like, why Cincinnati? Why Xavier?
Yeah, well, I did my senior year of high school in Cincinnati, so I was able to understand, what the university was about. At the time, Sean Miller, who's at Arizona, he was the one that recruited me to Xavier. I was just able to understand what it was about there. There was a school in Atlantic 10 at the time. Now we in the Big East, and they basically one guy every year get drafted to the league from Xavier. They go to the tournament, they win at 8-10. So I wanted to be a part of that. Just being there made me understand how things work there. I was just excited to be a part of a winning program that really wanted me. You could go to other places that want you a little bit, that really, they're not sure, but Xavier really showed major interest in me, and that was a big factor in my recruitment. You always want to go somewhere where they want you.
Right.
And I was like going to Xavier. I picked them over Indiana, Kentucky, Marquette, Ohio State. And regardless of what, my advice to young guys is, it look good, when you're getting recruited, you're going to a school that got 15, 20,000 fans in the stands every night, but if you're not getting no playing time, no fans not gonna mean nothing to you, so you gotta go somewhere where you're gonna play at. Don't get caught up in how many ESPN games they got or how many fans gonna be in them stadiums. That don't mean nothing if you're not playing.
Right.
I run with generals who flash Uzis in interviews. My shit is deep, we fly swimming through. You gotta be all murder, just like the.
Oh, this your spot. This is what I seen in the fridge.
But they got like Popeyes and KFC.
Nah, come on, man. We can't be in Turkey eating Popeyes, man.
They come Saturday.
Oh, Saturday.
Right.
So what are some tips that you can give a young college player right now that's interested in pursuing his career in basketball, and NBA might not be an option for him?
Yeah, for one, I'm not even just gonna speak about basketball. I'm gonna say life in general. You gotta know why you're doing it. Do you have a passion for it? What's some things that'll make you continue to go when you want to quit? And whatever you're doing, to be honest, you can't rely on it to make you happy. Like, you can't, because in this business, I honestly feel like like whatever business, whatever career opportunity you have and you pick, like you're gonna have a lot of bad days and you're gonna have a lot of long days when you're by yourself, when you gotta dig deep and really see who you are and see what you're about. You know, that's like me being an athlete. Like I want to play well every game, but there's plenty of games that I play bad. And if I was a person that just relied on playing well, I would be devastated at home by myself. Like, damn, I had a bad game. But you can't really rely on your job to make you happy. So that's really the best advice I could give to someone. Like, be prepared for the bad days and, you know, weather the storm. Like, you know, embrace the bad days, because once you understand how things work, a bad day ain't nothing to you. You just rolling.
Right.
Yeah.
Like I know we were talking earlier, and you were like, you know, you're prepared. You know, you're prepared to be broke.
Yeah, that's a fact. Like, you know, we all like nice things. We all spend a lot of money at times. Most of us, you know, I can speak for myself. There's times, you know, I looked over the summer and I'm like, wow, I spent everything I had in my bank account in 2 months.
Right.
And like, that's just you know, you hear about it. Some things I can't say it's inevitable, because as long as you make proper investments or you do the proper things in life, that you will always, you know, be affluent, as long as you do the right things. But I'm honestly prepared one day to wake up and not have what I thought I was gonna have in my bank account. But after that, you know, I gotta learn how to live life after. Like, I don't want that to happen, but I'm prepared for it.
Right. Been to. I've had the pleasure of visiting you in Puerto Rico.
Exactly.
That was cool. It was nice out there.
And this is my man for real. This ain't no regular interview. This is actually my family right here.
So, what would you say is like your favorite country so far?
I would have to say that Puerto Rico. I spent a lot of time, you know, on the beach, having family visit me from New York right down to San Juan, because it was only like a 2.5 hour flight. Had casinos. We was, you know, having fun and then enjoying life. And then, you know, I could fly home between games and stuff like that. Fly back. You know, rather than being, you know, over here in Europe where you flying 10, 12 hours to get home. You know, Puerto Rico 2 hours. So I could say Puerto Rico because of the location and then, you know, the nice weather. And I could say Israel too, because Israel, I felt that peace there. You know, for some reason it was like a beautiful stage of my career where I would just, it always felt peaceful and comfortable.
Alright.
You know, and I would definitely say Puerto Rico and Israel.
Puerto Rico and Israel. So how do you adapt to like the food and the culture when you go to these, you know, these countries?
I try to keep it simple with things. You know, I try to stay in my lane.
Right.
Not try to do too much, you know, as far as, you know, I got to respect other people's culture because I'm in someone else's country.
Right.
You know, I'm not about to come over here and try to, you know, make people adjust to me, you know, but I also try to, you know, continue to be who I am, but, you know, just respect my surroundings, respect my culture. Right. And then the food, I typically eat the same thing. Like, I don't try different stuff. Like, you know, I know what I like to eat, so I keep it simple.
All right.
Yeah.
Like, do you look for, like, any, like, closest to American style?
Yeah, definitely. You know, here in Turkey, we got Popeyes, KFC.
Hey.
I'm going to go there one night. I go there, then, you know, I get some rice, chicken. You know, I keep it simple. But I don't just be trying stuff, man. I can't do that.
Keep it real simple.
Yeah, keep it simple.
Shake Shack.
Yeah, Shake Shack, of course. You know, here in Turkey, Istanbul.
Yeah, they have a Shake Shack.
For sure.
Shout out to Shake Shack. We might need a plug. We might need a sponsor.
Facts.
Yeah, so, like, you know, do you look for any environments that can just remind you of home, you know, as possible?
Yeah.
When you do go out and hang out, you know, I know it's not like going out in the city and hanging out.
Yeah, but definitely, you know, that's what keep me comfortable, when something could remind me of home.
Right.
So, you know, I try to go to places that, you know, they got like hookah lounges here or a bar where I could get to watch sports or something like that. You know, because anything can make your next day better if I feel comfortable, like I'm at home. Like if I just went to a nice sports bar and had a good meal or a good environment, it gives me something to look forward to the next day. Like I'm not going to work feeling stressed out or something like that. So, you know, I try to do anything where it's American people or, you know, just a nice, subtle environment, something like that.
One more thing I wanted to ask you now. I've heard stories. I have many friends that play ball overseas, and they're in all different levels. And just like they have Division 1, 2, and 3 in college, you have, a top league overseas. A middle league. And I know what I've heard from some of the lower leagues is like, sometimes people have problems with getting paid, right? Like, so how do you deal with a situation where you may be in a country, you're promised a certain amount of money and it's short, or you don't get the money at all?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've definitely been in situations like that in my career. And my first year in Turkey, and then a job in Mexico. Mm-hmm. That's just the tough part of this business. I don't understand. It's not like you home and you working like you getting paid the 1st and 15th or something.
Right.
Overseas, it's a different game. You gotta really be prepared for anything in this business. You understand, like when you sign that contract, like, yo, listen, there's a possibility that I'm not gonna get all my money. And
right.
That's what you can't get caught up in, like wanting to play basketball for the wrong things.
Right.
Like you gotta be devoted to this lifestyle and understand that that's the devils of the game. Like, that's the bad part that people don't see, that people don't, show. But there's a big part that, like, that when I'm signing this contract, there's a big chance I'm not gonna get my money. But, hopefully, you do the right things, and you can get paid.
Right.
As bad as it is, hopefully you can get paid.
Hopefully you can get paid. Hopefully, I work. I get.
You go to work every day, but it ain't guaranteed that you're gonna get paid.
Your paycheck isn't directly deposited into your account.
Yeah, I think it should be like some places is better. Some countries you're playing from, what I heard is that there's a rule that, like, if they're late, like, I believe in France or Germany or something like that, there's like rule, like if they pass a day late, like it's something that happens or something, but it's not like that everywhere. But there definitely should be something need to be, put together and orchestrated, that guys could, not having the same sob story of, oh, I didn't get paid and this and that happened. Like, something need to be put together, because we're going to work every day. So,
right.
You go to work every day, you honor them by doing that, they should honor you by giving you what you signed for.
Mm-hmm.
That nigga leave my shit right in the front. I told you so.
Got an Audi sign.
Man, you were ready to get.
Oh my God.
Cold out here, boy.
Practice with no gas.
How do you offset your finances in the off season? You're used to getting paid during the season. It's not like a year annual job. You don't get checks in the off season. So, like, how do you offset those finances in the off season?
To be honest, during the year I don't spend as much as I would in the time when I'm home in the summer, to be honest.
Okay.
Because, we're over here working, you locked in, and you're not, shopping, you're not going on vacation, in these months basically from, like, August to May. But when you get home in the summer is when you get to travel, you get to do that. So you really try to double down during the season, and then your high months of spending more money may be in, June, July, August type thing. So that's really how I try to offset my income.
Gotcha. I mean, it's not much to spend your money on when you got practice every day and games and you're on the road. And
yeah, you might want to online shop, or you might have months around December,
right,
you're doing more
right Christmas
things like that. Christmas time,
family,
holidays,
everything, right,
Thanksgiving, people coming in, you spending a little more, but
right
for the most part, other than that, you just having practice and a regular lifestyle, just eating. But during the summertime, I feel like that'd be the consensus answer for, like, most overseas athletes, is that we spending most of our money in the summertime.
What are some secrets to you know to help you last so many years? Like, how many years have you been playing? First and foremost, how many years now have you been playing?
I think this is my seventh.
Seventh
Yeah.
season. So like, what are some
That's tough.
secrets to like to Holloway lasting 7 years so far? Some people, you know, now I know you said your first season you might have got sent home. Your second season you might have got sent home.
Right.
You know, how do you sustain longevity overseas playing ball?
For one, I can't. The glaring thing for many people, you know, that's playing overseas or people that's a household name or making money is that you always look at the talent in someone. But to be honest, the talent is like in the background. You got to be fundamentally sound at whatever you're doing. You got to take care of your body. You got to be able to follow instructions. You got to be able to pay attention. Whatever someone is asking you to do, you got to be able to do it to the best of your ability. And that's the main thing with me as I got older. You know, I really had to, you know, because my mind was a certain way throughout my lifestyle. I mean, throughout my childhood. Mm-hmm. Like, you know, going to different high schools, going to college where basically everything was catered to me. Mm-hmm. That my mind was structured a certain way. And it took me to get overseas and realize, like, nah, you can't do it how you've been doing it. You got to do it how we want you to do it. And it took me a couple years to understand that. So now, like, the process of being humbled made me completely fundamentally sound. So that's basically that's one thing I could just, you know, tell young guys and reiterate, like, yeah, you have to be fundamentally sound. You have to follow directions, pay attention.
Discipline.
Exactly. Discipline is the
big
main
factor.
thing.
The main thing, discipline.
Mm-hmm.
Discipline. What would you say is, like, you know, the difference between American basketball and international basketball? I know, for one, we caught your game yesterday, and to me, on the outside looking in as a ball player myself, it seemed fast-paced, it seemed aggressive, it seems very fundamental. So, you know, that's me outside looking in, catching a game. You know, as a player, what do you think are some of the differences between playing in America and playing out here?
That's a tough question, to be honest, because I really haven't, like, I just continue to play the same way I've been playing throughout my life. So I can't, it's a difficult question. You know, people always say, like, you know, every level is like, is faster, guys are bigger, stronger, whatever, but I honestly don't see the difference. You know, I feel like basketball is basketball all over the world.
Right. So I know you played one season in now it's the G League. Right. Before, at the time, I believe it was the D League. Mm-hmm. You know, so what do you think what would be a better choice? And I'm sure that depends on the player and their opportunity, but what do you say is a better, you know, what's better, the D League or overseas?
It depends. At my stage, when I came out of college, mm-hmm. You know, I had an agent who I believed in that was pushing me to go overseas. I had legitimate opportunities in both situations, in the D League at the time and then in Turkey. So for someone that never had money before, I wanted money for the first time in my life. So that's why I came overseas, and my agent was telling me, you could go play well overseas your first year. You could come home and go to summer league or go to training camp. So that's what my mind was at with it. And it depends on what means something to you. Right. Like, you know, if you want to get to the NBA, right, go to the G League, because that's where the NBA people were at every night. I know so many guys that got called up because they were playing in one of those cities and someone went down and they needed someone directly. Like, you know, right, could be this close for you getting to the league or not, because you may be playing in Denver somewhere, like, you know, on the D League team, and a guy on the Nuggets get hurt, you're in their affiliate team, and they calling you right up rather than having to come to Spain or Turkey or Italy or Greece to get someone that they're interested in. Right. You're right there. So that's my advice. Like, if you're right there, if you're a guy that want to play in the NBA, go to the G League. If you want money, go overseas. Right.
Do you know off top, like, how many countries have you played for so far in your 7 years?
I played in Turkey my first year for Aliaga Petkim. I played in Belgium for Leuven Bears.
Okay.
Then I went and played for San Germán in Puerto Rico. Then I went to Guaros de Lara in Venezuela. Then I went back to San Germán. Then I went to Halicones Rojos in Mexico.
Okay.
Then I went back to Venezuela to the Guaros de Lara. Then I went to the D League.
Okay.
Played for the Texas Legends. And I went to Italy, played for Minoli Cremona.
Man's been around. Those are stamps.
Then I went to Israel and played for Hapo Holon. Went back to Puerto Rico, played for Cavaliers.
Mm.
Went back to Israel, played for Hapo Holon. Went back to Cavaliers in Puerto Rico. And now I'm here in Istanbul BBSK in Turkey.
Back in Turkey. Man, I want to thank you first and foremost,
Thank
bro,
you.
for the hospitality and having us, man.
You and Justin. Thank
Yeah,
you.
You know, this is episode 2, Life Overseas, with Holloway. We're in Istanbul, Turkey. Stay tuned.